And good Saturday morning to everyone. I was just sitting there reading over an article that come up. Anybody ever heard of Glenn Beck? Interesting story as he spoke to a CEO of, said that about 2/3 of ammunition that is ordered and delivered by UPS never makes it to a front door. Makes you go, huh? Glenn Beck reached out to UPS and said they really didn't have an answer. I'll watch that story, and if it develops anymore, we'll tell you more about it. Move that up just a little bit more where that'll be clear. How are we this morning? It is Saturday as we begin this. We've got a temperature of about 90 today. It's going to be warm. Our heat index will make it all the way to 97, and we have a 70% chance of showers coming into the forecast probably after 3 o'clock this afternoon. I think we'll have periods of sunshine, and it won't be as bad as it sounds. We've gotten off lucky here lately the last few days with all of this severe weather that was predicted. Nothing ever happened. We'll talk a little bit about what we've got going on in the tropics. A lot stirring out there in the water. Two different systems, it looks like now. Not enough coffee this morning for the voice is what it is. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Overnight, let's start out and see what we've got that has happened. I've got several stories that we're working on behind the scenes that we haven't gotten answers for yet. We get those, we'll come out with those in just a little bit there. As we begin today, let's move here and let's talk about gunfire last night. Let me hit a button here, pull this up where we'll start out. And again, the shots fired that I have from the Marion area overnight, nothing was hit, injured to my knowledge. As daylight comes, sometimes it takes into the afternoon before you get all the true stories. But at this point, we're saying we don't have any information of anyone being hurt. We did get reports here north of Highland Park last night of shots fired. If you were to go due north of there, up to around 40th and Highland Avenue, this area right in here. Again, this road that plays in here, we see this a lot in the news here, Royal Road. It will be due north of there, right in this area here. Again, if it bothers you, you live in that area and you don't like that happening every night, contact your councilman or Jimmy Smith, the mayor of Marion. And again, I don't have it right in front of me as to whose district that is. I'll have to break that down and know a little bit better next time before I open my mouth. We also had other shots fired last night. Again, with this one was reported that a car drove through. Shots were fired. No one was hurt, and it left the scene immediately. As we pull this up, we go just north of 8th Street. This would be where the Gypsy Queen is buried here. We'd go right over to Frank Berry Courts in this area. Somebody drove through the parking lot last night, fired a few shots, and drove off. Went down 8th Street. Now, again, with this, no one was hurt. But still, if you live there, would you want that happening? I think not. Meridian police responded. They're still looking for the culprits that did that. Sad we live in a city that we even have to talk about that, isn't it? Also, with this so many times, and we see this nearly every morning. Sometimes I don't get all the information. But have you gotten used to the word smash and grab? Let me say that again, smash and grab. That has become pretty much a regular here in Meridian. And what that is, they pull up to your car or walk up to it with backpacks, take a stick, bust out your window, and go through your car. This scene here, as we go to Frontage Road last night, Meridian Police Department's been busy. Reports that there were several smash and grabs in this area here, anywhere along North Frontage Road on both sides of it. I'm told that police may have been in a foot chase with a couple down through here, may have gotten some. But this is it. They've been busy writing reports, looking to see whose car's been damaged. If you're in this area, maybe you're watching from a hotel, not from here, go check your car. Be a smart thing to do. Security can only do so much. And it's getting to a point where neighborhoods, seriously, if you don't have a neighborhood watch program, and some of the scales that I see in other towns they're hiring private security for their neighborhoods to where they patrol, and everybody in the neighborhood pitches in and helps with that in these overnight hours for their safety. Just a thought, not saying do that. I'm just saying that's happening in other parts of the United States at this point because people are, they're tired of it. They're scared of it. They want to be able to sleep comfortably and not think that somebody's going to come in on them. I don't know all the details of this, but I'm told that there was a pursuit last night with the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. Someone ran from the law. Shouldn't do that. They'll get you in the end, and it did. It ended in a small, what we'd call fender bender, with a mailbox as we go here out to the southeast area, Causeyville Road. And if you go past Camp Marydale, along about right in here is where the guy tried to make a turn into a driveway, lost it, and, well, wrecked. Sheriff's Department was in pursuit on foot the last I was told. Don't know how that ended up, but he could not drive them. He had a little fender bender. No one was hurt. Everything was okay. That did happen. And it always, as we talk about, if somebody runs from the law, they either have something on them or something in the car that they don't want to be stopped with. They would rather take that risk of running, fleeing, and then get out on foot and get rid of it somewhere so that they won't be charged with whatever it was that they were doing. We'll try to get more details on that as well. Late last night, this is such a tragedy, as we would, and let me pull this up because this did happen. We're waiting for official word from officials to get further details into this morning, but we had an accident last night. This would be Marion. This is the Highway 45 bypass. This is where Dale Drive, this is old Highway 45, what they call Dale Drive now. As right before it goes into this, before you would get to Simmons Wrecker, here and along the curve and past the exit to Marion, a motorcycle came in contact with a deer. From what I am understanding, it was not good. At least one of the riders may have passed away in this. We're waiting for official word from Highway Patrol coroner to get more information on that. It was two people riding on the motorcycle and a deer, and you can only imagine, you know how it is even in a car when a deer walks out, how hard of a lick that is, and that's what happened last night. We pass along condolences, and we do hope that the female rider is okay. I do not know the condition, but we know there was a male and a female involved in this wreck. Possibly the male passed away. I'm pretty sure of that. We're waiting for names to be released this morning before we put that out. Condolences. My last, and I don't know this for sure, I was told there was a good chance that these folks were from out of town. Sad, sad, sad. We also, early this morning, had another accident. This would be Highway 494, just somewhere around daylight, 6 o'clock. Maybe, well, I hadn't been outside early. I've been in a room, so I don't know what it looks like early. I think it's still kind of dark at around 6. We had a crash involving a car and a tree. This would be Highway 494. And this has happened several times. After you go past this Marshall Beeman Road, it's a circle there. We've had several accidents there. A tree was partly laying in the road and a car came in contact with it, or it fell on them as they came along. I'm not sure which one happened first, but we do know that it involved an automobile and a car. There were some injuries. I don't know how serious that was. We hope everyone is okay in that. But if you came along and traffic was blocked for a little while, that's what was going on. The 12,000 block of Highway 494 this morning. Again, we do hope everybody was okay from that incident that happened this morning. Our first responders were out late over in Marion, and they were also out early on that side of town. A big thank you to all that they do and go above and beyond. I showed this picture as we talked about one of the first stories there, smash and grab. I got this picture yesterday. This was sent to me by a person that their car was gone through. Not sure that they got anything, but still their car, their belongings were gone through. And this is what it looks like after they go through hunting for whatever they can take. And this was Bonita Ridge Apartments is where this happened. They'll do this every time. After something for free, something they don't have to work for. Aren't y'all tired of that? I am, and I know you are. And especially anyone that's had this happen to them. Crime is on the rise nationwide. It's not only our little corner of the world, it's everywhere. We'll get into a story in just a moment about New Orleans. It really makes you feel safe about going there. New Orleans. We'll talk about that here in just a second as we get into that. Overall, we had a mild day. We had several different things go on. Well, except for, let's go ahead and talk about Neshoba County. They've been busy. Eric Clark. Now, I made a few posts, I don't know, a week ago where deputies in Neshoba County made an arrest for marijuana. It seemed to upset a few folks because the police were doing what their job is, what the law was. No matter how you like it, recreational marijuana is not legal in the state of Mississippi and is especially not legal in Neshoba County. If you do wrong, the sheriff's department will come visit you. No matter how young, how old you are, they come visit with a pair of handcuffs, and you're escorted down to the roomy and spacious, air-conditioned Neshoba County Jail. No different on this. They've got one arrest, and they've got 2 warrants out for 2 other people. As we go to Sam Media to pull this up this morning, look at this. Does that look like that was just something small going on? I think not. A very serious operation there. Look at that. That is a lot of marijuana. Now, I for one of very few that have never smoked marijuana. It never turned me on at all. It's not my thing in life. But deputies arrived, and this happened on Wednesday of this week as they go through all of this. It was on County Road 539 there in Neshoba County. After arriving to the scene, they were able to obtain a search warrant. Someone called me and said, I think something's going on. They got a search warrant. They did go in. They discovered in this, after they dismantled an indoor marijuana operation, is what this is called. So this was set up to sell. They were doing a lot here. That's a lot as we dig into this and we get into this. It was 7 kilos. 7 kilos. Right there in Neshoba County. It included cookies, gummies, and even brownies. My, oh my. Liquid vape, cartridges, bulk U.S. currency, and multiple firearms were seized with all of this. The property was seized, and as we get further into this, the agents from the Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics, Alcohol, Beverage Control, and Child Protective Services were requested to assist with this. And here we go. Children were present at the residence when law enforcement arrived on the scene. The children were handed over to family members that were involved in this. William Cal Clark, trafficking in a controlled substance for marijuana, manufacturing a controlled substance for marijuana, possession of an illegal distillery. Charges get a little bit deeper. Possession of moonshine. 4 counts of child abuse and neglect have been listed there. Christy Michelle King, trafficking in a controlled substance for marijuana, manufacturing a controlled substance for marijuana, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Gene Flex Boykin, trafficking in a controlled substance for marijuana, manufacturing controlled substance of marijuana, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Let's look at a map where all this went down. This would be just east of Philadelphia, Highway 16 as we go out. This is where all this went down. As you come out of Philadelphia going toward Kemper County, this is Bobby's Country Store. Been by there many times, and we all know down here where Cook Feeds was. You turn right, there it is on County Road 539 is where all this went down. And again, whether you like this or not, marijuana is illegal for recreational. This is not marijuana that has been approved by the state, and it has to be grown at a facility for patients that need marijuana for medical reasons. I think they did a fantastic job. Eric Clark does his job. It's by the law. He's fair to everyone. Good man. Y'all are fortunate to have him as we look around with this. One of the nice folks. Also on our page, if you would like to learn more about this, Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. And to make all of this legal, let me pull this up where you can take a look at what we're showing here. This is what is coming up, checkpoints. And they do this because people go, well, why is the Sheriff's Department putting where they're going to be? Well, it's a legal matter. They have to do this. They post this, and you can take a look at where they're coming up. All of this will start today, as a matter of fact. They're going to be out in Collinsville. Let's take a look here as we pull this up. Collinsville, Martin, Center Hill, this area here. They will also be out the 21st, and this runs all the way through September the 6th is when this will happen. Read more about it. Find out where it is. If you're all legal, got your driver's license, don't have any warrants against you, probably be okay. But that's public notice there as they're coming out. Safety checkpoints is what they are. Don't get that confused with anything else. Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department does a great job, and we appreciate them for what they do to protect and serve our area there. We go into what has happened. I spoke with Ward yesterday also. Now, let's pull this up and where you can get a good look at what we have here. A 16-year-old has been arrested. Well, normally you don't list pictures and have rap sheets of 16-year-olds unless they're being charged as an adult. And that's what we've got this morning as we pull this up. As Joshua McLemore has been arrested. A string of car burglaries, from Collinsville to the city. There's a lot going on with this. As you'll look here, you can click here after you go to sammedia.network, and this will pull up the arrest report and show each case that he's being charged with. 9 counts of car burglary, felony motor vehicle theft. Now, he was arrested in the city. The county has taken part of this. No word yet. I do expect charges to come from the city of Marion. No word yet on that. I've asked several times, and no charges have been listed. It may just be that they're aware that he's not going to be getting out because he's been arrested for something else before. So no bond on this. He's sitting and waiting. The city of Marion will pass along as more information comes out on this. This would be really close to, y'all remember the shooting the other night? This would be in relation to very close to that location. No word yet from Meridian Police Department if there is a connection. We're waiting to find that out. You can't accuse anybody of anything until the police put that out, but we're watching this. It was in that general area. Is there a connection? We don't know. We'll find out. But more charges are expected from Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department as investigation continues, and possibly some charges coming in from the city of Meridian. That's what we're looking at. It's been a busy weekend, hasn't it? It has. We did have a structure fire, 2600 of 15th Street. Everything was put out, but a structure fire did happen yesterday. And as always, and let me show you this. This is from all areas. If you are in the area, anywhere of these counties that come around us in the state of Mississippi, we planned on expanding this also. But if you want to find out what's going on, we post each day. Some of these are weekly, some of these are daily, the arrest reports. Here's Newton County. You can go to sammedia.network, and we've got them all there. And you just click on, and you'll find out more of what we've got. Hope you'll do that and take a look at what's going on in your neighborhood. It's always, the word I look for on this is to be very educated of what's going on in your neighborhood. And if you'll do this, it gives information as to what is going on in your county, whether it's Kemper County, Lauderdale, Newton, Jasper, all these counties around us. Make sure that you take part of this and pay attention to this. Sandy White, how are you? It was so good to see you the other day. James Carter, Causeyville, watching us this morning. Janice Smith is up also. It says that someone broke into a car at Angie Shirley's office. Boy, doesn't that make you mad when somebody does that? And a lot of folks saying just how much they appreciate our sheriff's department from near and far. Jamie Dixon says that we live in a divided country when we're talking about that marijuana. There is a lot of division on that. A lot of people think it's okay. It was never a part of my growing up. I know others that personally, and some people tried it once, they were okay. I know others that tried it, 40 years old now, 40, 45, still don't have a job, relying on their parents to give them money because, well, they got a hold of some drugs that were bad, probably messed up their minds mentally. And you think I'm making this up? Nope, I'm not. It happens, and I'm sure that each of you that are watching know someone or have been affected by someone that's got hooked on all this. It's sad to be that old. Sometimes they're younger. And the thing about drugs, it doesn't matter race. It doesn't matter who you are. You can get hooked on this stuff and destroy your life. So many times people buy this, and this is what is so confusing. They don't know. They'll buy a drug that's been laced with something else, and it does damage, mental damage, and that person is never right again. Maybe it was a simple thing, it's something with the marijuana, maybe. I don't know. But they lace it with something else, and it affects that person. Their life is destroyed from there on. Why? Because they want money. Some of this stuff's grown locally. Some of it's brought into our nation from other parts of the world. Mexico, cartel, things of that nature. It's bad. And the drugs just keep getting worse and worse the further up the chain you go. Fentanyl, that's a big word there. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Whew. Have mercy. I'll get off of that soapbox. We'll go on with this. Did we mention the wreck that happened yesterday? Trustmart had a visitor right there in front of San Marcos Mexican restaurant. If you know where the Trustmart Bank is, well, let's take a look at that. This is the scene of that yesterday as we look at the picture of firefighters on the scene. Drove right into the bank. I think everybody was okay, and most likely we got a couple of more pictures after they pulled the car out. If you'll see the damage there to Trustmart Bank. knocked out the whole window there with the logo on it. As you look at that, look at the damage there. Could have been worse. Someone could have been standing in the lobby. Somebody could have been walking into the bank. We're guessing here, and this is a guess. I don't have the police report in front of me, but most likely, as we've seen so many times, that gas and brake are confused with somebody that may be elderly that got them confused. I've seen it happen to post offices. They pull up to go get their mail, and, well, we know what happens. Fortunately, no one was hurt. That's what we have thankful for this morning. A few of the things that went on across Marion yesterday. That was busy, wasn't it? It was. I'm scrolling down to make sure I didn't miss anything else. And I brought this up, and I just want to do one more thank you. This little fella here, we often post pictures of dogs and things that are missing in our neighborhood. If you've got one, we'd love to hear from you. I've got a pet page. I hadn't got a lot on there right now, but we have on our website a place where we can add puppy dogs that are missing. We put them on our Facebook page and also in Sam Media. But this little fella here was run over. He was hit. Didn't kill him. On Highway 39, he was rushed in, and the good folks at Animal Roadside Rescue Network is the way it's actually worded, got this little fella, took him to the vet. The bills were about $350 to save him, take care of him. And they asked for donations, and y'all did that. $380 was raised here in Marion to help that little fella. He's recovering quite well. I'm sure he'll be getting home before long, but they do so much, and a big thank you to them for helping out pups. Y'all have done a lot with that. Remember the pup not long ago that had been at the pound for too long, and he had reached his end? Somebody adopted him, and I appreciate that. Man's best friend, whether it's a puppy dog, a kitty cat, if you live alone, make sure you get one. The best company you'll ever have, and there's truth to that being man's best friend. They like you when nobody else does, even when your wife doesn't like you, or your husband. Your pets still do. They look to you for, well, advice and food, don't they? They like you. So check that out. As we look around at some other things that have gone on in the community, let me see here. I don't want to leave anything out. Let's go to New Orleans. I brought that up a moment ago. New Orleans. The mayor made a comment this week, and he had to backtrack. He backed away from what he said. His comments says, if we don't have adequate police, it could mean that we will have no Mardi Gras. That's a fact. If our officers cannot be safe, there's no way that our city will be safe, the mayor said during a budget town hall meeting on Thursday night. Yesterday morning, he was backtracking and saying, whoa, I'm sorry, I didn't say we're going to be canceling Mardi Gras. Which tells us behind the scenes that, well, there's not enough police there to handle it. Now, whether they're backtracking or not, it tells you that there is some concern there in the city of New Orleans that they couldn't protect if something happened. That makes you want to jump in your car and run on down to Mardi Gras, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. But as I said, there's many cities across America that don't have enough police. Why? Well, they defund police. It happened. People picked on police to where police officers, in many cases, have thought this is just not worth it. Took early retirement. So many of our officers nationwide have retired because it just wasn't worth the headache and the ridicule and being cussed and spit at. Y'all know that's happened. And for the folks on the other side of that, are there a few bad cops in this world? Absolutely. It's the same as the person when you go into a convenience store that has a bad attitude, that had an argument at home and is ugly to you when you go to buy something. They're few and far between is what I'm saying. Overall, we've got great cops across the nation. We've got great workers in most stores. Every now and then you'll bump into somebody that, well, it's just not nice. But we need our patrol. We need our folks that take care of us. Support them when we can. We'll watch this closely, but they're saying that New Orleans will have it. A bus driver in deep trouble as we go to Picayune, which is due south of us. Picayune, as you're headed down toward Slidell, rolling through Mississippi. You're still in Mississippi. A bus driver got off, left a child in there for 2 hours inside a hot van. Fortunately, the child was not hurt. How does that happen? Every school bus I've ever seen, when they get off, get ready to close the door, they get up and they walk down the aisles to make sure that no one's hidden. I'm sure charges will come about that. As a matter of fact, the bus driver was arrested. But again, at the end of the day, no one was hurt. Thank goodness. We all love that. Let's look at what's happening in Ridgeland. This is an argument. what's on the surface, there's probably more to this. If we'll remember back, Ridgeland, the mayor had a little argument a while back with them over some books that were in the library that he didn't approve of. Most would say, I don't like it, but we'll leave that to them for that fight. But they're saying they're having a cutback on the amount of hours that they're going to be open in Ridgeland at the library because, well, we don't have the funding. They're saying that it's not coming through, and they're scared that on down the road they'll have to close altogether. We'll wait to see what the mayor of Ridgeland has to say about that. But they are cutting back hours for sure. We'll watch that. It used to be a big deal. Who remembers that when you got your library card? I remember getting mine from the Lauderdale County Library. Y'all remember that? It was a big deal back in the day. It was pretty fun there. I hadn't been in the library in a while. Maybe we'll do that. We do have someone who's passed away on a Mississippi highway over the weekend. A crash in Pike County on Highway 24 rather. A person lost her life, a 79-year-old. 67-year-old John Robinette of Macomb has passed away in an automobile accident. We pass along condolences to that family. Stark Vegas and Starkville, Mississippi is where we head to next. An ambulance transporting somebody to the hospital was hit. Someone failed to yield the right-of-way. Pretty serious little accident. I think in the end, everybody will be okay, but imagine that. You're en route to the hospital and get hit. You hear those lights, slow down, let those ambulances go by. We did have 4 people that were injured on Highway 63, Jackson County, Mississippi. Streets were wet and it involved 18-wheelers. It shut down traffic for a while. On one of them, it was 127 cattle on there. Cattle were okay, but we had some drivers that were injured there. They had to bring in another 18-wheeler to unload the cattle to another truck. I don't know if you know as drivers who are watching know this. One of the most deadliest things that you can drive. Gas, dangerous also. But cattle, if you're going down the road, if the cattle get nervous, they shift. They're heavy. They move. If they get spooked, they'll shift, flip a truck in a heartbeat. I always respect those cattle trucks as you pass them. It's a dangerous job. Those guys know what I'm talking about that do this. Maybe you've ridden in an 18-wheeler before, know what I'm talking about. As we go to the national scene this morning, Mitt Romney admits that Liz has no chance of being president. As bad as she wants to be president and tell the rest of us what to do, Liz Cheney is who I'm talking about. He tells her she has no shot at ever beating Trump. Just the way it is. And that's on the Republican ticket. We don't know who will come about or if Joe will be the ticket winner on the Democratic side. But Mitt, as we all know, is no fan of Trump. He doesn't like him. He's done everything that he could to cause him issues throughout his career. But even he can tell her to take it on to the House. It's not going to happen. I really don't expect her to run unless somebody in her camp, like her mama or somebody, keeps going, honey, you can sing. Y'all know how that works. Go ahead and enter that talent contest. You're beautiful. Gosh, you're great. Then they get there and the rest of the world has to tell them, nope. Trump is telling us that a major announcement is coming very quickly from Mar-a-Lago, as we find out as the agents raided his home. Basically, what I'm hearing it is a lawsuit coming against the federal government for probably violating his Fourth Amendment rights. We'll watch and see, but they say it could be hours before that is announced. Could be days, but coming quickly. Golf. This one slipped up on me. I didn't see this. A golfer is set to become the first transgender woman to win a coveted Ladies Professional Golf Association tour. It's in every aspect that we see of golfing. I bet they would even not let that scene. It may be even edited. Y'all remember in Crocodile Dundee, well, he done the check to make sure who he was talking to. That would probably get axed in a movie nowadays, wouldn't it? But that's the scene. We've got that in golfing now. Swimming has been a big issue with that. Bill Paxton, do y'all remember watching the movie Twister? Great show. I enjoyed it. It was really good. His family, if you'll remember, he had heart surgery and he died. His family has reached a settlement with a hospital over his death. It's been quite a while there. A $1 million settlement. Maybe more details on that, but they did win in court over that. Something wasn't done right. It looks as though the attorneys have proven that something wasn't right. They settled out of court to keep it from going on. This is where I get confused. It's the way the national media I'm just a local guy here that passes along things. I grew up with most of you. Most of you have heard of me since I was 17 years old, and I started what I do. I've gotten a little older on you now. But as we look at national news, they seem to have a way of taking what you see here, my little coffee cup there. They'll take your coffee and change. I'm using the wrong words of this. They'll take facts and twist it, is what I'm trying to get at here. Yeah. CNN, their headline reads, you've got $100 raise. You're making $100 more a month. What are they talking about? The price of gas, with it dropping. They're praising Biden for the cost of gas finally dropping, and you're getting a $100 raise. Okay, I passed by several gas pumps yesterday. The lowest I saw was somewhere between $3.37 to $3.59. It was up nearly to $5 at one point. We all know that. But I remember a time not all that long ago, the gas was $1.69 a gallon. What happened to the headline that says, Joe, you've cost Americans probably $300 more a month, $500 more a month, depending on if both family members drive to work. It could be even more than that. They twist it to make it sound good when things are bad, is what I'm trying to point out. I didn't give a good example with the coffee cup. I got sideways with that. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to say. Gosh, that bothers me, and it should you too. Gas is at an all-time high now. I don't care how you try to slice this and make this sound good. It is expensive. $3.37 is not cheap compared to $1.69. My 2 cents on that. Up next, we're going to get into your forecast, let you know exactly what's going to happen. Don't rush off. We'll tell you all about what's going on with the weather and what to expect. That's next as we begin your Saturday. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. Mississippi sweet potatoes, 49 cents a pound. Fresh peaches, $2.49 a pound. Vidalia onions, a 3-pound bag, $2.99. Green, red, or black grapes, $2.99 a pound. Fresh leg quarters, a 10-pound bag, $7.99. And certified Angus beef T-bone steaks family pack, only $11.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
If you're getting ready to purchase land, make sure you have it surveyed. Contact our friends at the Woodlands Group. Maybe you're selling land, dividing land up. Whatever the case is, the Woodlands Group can help you there. They handle residential and commercial clients. And again, they specialize in property line location, site plans, and a whole lot more. Maybe you have a construction project, and they have the latest equipment to make sure it's done right, including drones. Call Justin Palmer or Brandon Briggs at the Woodlands Group, Surveying Solutions. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we begin this Saturday morning together. And let's look at what's happening in North Mississippi now with the weather. It's raining as we pull up and we go into Marion Honda radar this morning. Here we go as we go due north here. Let's pull up this map and zoom in so you can see what we're all looking at. This will be around West Point. Raining pretty heavy this morning, all in this area here over to Caledonia, right there at the state line, south of Amory. Let me turn this on where we can get the exact locations as we look at this. This would be at Mormon Springs as we come across. We got some heavy showers there. I want to say we pronounce that Darricud? I think so. And also there at Benford, Mississippi. As we look over here to Bruce, look at these areas here. Woodland, Vardaman, on up for Bruce, Mississippi, Water Valley getting it. And at Ole Miss this morning, we're getting a lot of showers there. Be careful. Sardis Lake, a lot of showers coming down as well. Mississippi Delta getting a little sprinkle there. And we go south, a little bit of a shower there in the western, southwestern side of Mississippi. And as we look at in between Biloxi and Mobile, a few showers as well this morning. Showers also off the coast there of Louisiana this morning. Nothing serious, but as we see that, we back out. We had some fog earlier this morning. Always a little bit happening up here in the Carolinas as we go north, right up in here to the West Virginia area. A little bit of fog remaining. And always up here in the north, we got some light showers. We watch these areas. Texas, y'all be ready here. New Mexico, it's been flooding. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to all of this. Whew, bad out there. Now, we've got a lot of activity. We got something else starting to stir off the coast of Africa. 20% chance of becoming something. Right now, let's look at what we've got going on. This is a tropical depression this morning. Wind speed at 35 miles an hour, moving northwest at 14 miles an hour. As we look at this, later this afternoon by 1 o'clock, expected to gain wind speed and become a tropical storm with 40-mile-an-hour winds gust up to 52 miles an hour. Now, this is this afternoon. As we look at this, somewhere along the early morning hours, this should be coming ashore. We'll look at this, and let's look at our map here. This is going to come in right at Mexico and then make its way into Texas there. So y'all be ready. This eastern side here as it comes into Texas. They're west of Corpus Christi, southwest of there. It's going to be a lot of rain. I've been to Beeville, Texas many a time. That area just west of y'all is going to be wet as we look at that. That's what's going on. And then our next system that we're going to watch is going to be right back out this way, coming out of here. We'll watch it closely and let you know what becomes of that as we look at the big scheme of weather. Nothing is coming to the Gulf of Mexico that has affected Louisiana and Mississippi lately. This looks like it will have some form of rain moving into the Texas and a lot of rain with it. We'll watch it and tell you more about it. All right, let's get into the local forecast and get off into this morning as we bring it to you.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we look at the forecast outlined for today, 90% chance of showers in the Marion area. And as we looked at that rain that is in North Mississippi right now, it will come down, take in the Louisville area right there, just north of Noxapater, and come across Kemper County. Heavier showers there on that northeast side up near Giles, right at Wahala, going into Macon, those areas north to Columbus. And we go south to where Hattiesburg area, Brookhaven, Natchez, that area will get a little bit more rain. Now, is there a 70% chance of rain today? It absolutely is. Looks like we may be able to pull this off with a wing and a prayer for the folks, Rodney Wing, as they have racing action return tonight out to Why Not Motorsports Park. They've been blessed on this, been able to get all the races in. It looks like they're sitting right between two fronts there, and they may be able to have no problems. This is the big race tonight. Hope you can make it out and enjoy that. As we look at the edge of Alabama, Demopolis, Selma, 90, 91 in Montgomery. Now, we are going to have periods of sunshine today. Don't forget that. As we look at the 6 to 10 day outlook, we still have cooler temperatures, and we'll look at that here in just a moment as we'll see that these temperatures are going to still hover in the 80s and not climb out of that. That's on the way there. But out in California, as we've pointed out for the last few days here, there is something brewing that's going to make the temperatures a little bit hotter. All right, let's look at our 7-day forecast as we pull this up. Here we go, off into today. 89 to 90, 70% chance of showers. Likely, again, in the late afternoon for our area after 3 o'clock. A cloudy sky from time to time with sunshine. Heat index will hit 97 today. That's one of these seasons where you get it all. Rain, sunshine, clouds, all in one day. 60% chance of rain before 1 a.m., then a slight chance after 4 a.m. overnight with a low around 72. As we go into Sunday morning, it looks like we'll have an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms. That's what we'll get, possibly after 1 p.m. The high tomorrow only at 84. Look at that. Now, Monday, that's a shocker. We are in August. Do y'all see that? 80 degrees is what is projected for Monday. That's cool. That's nice. If we could keep it that temperature without the rain, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it? As we look to Tuesday, 83, warming back up to the upper 80s by Thursday, 88, but rain chances every day. Let's go for another weekend to September the 3rd. Still, rain chances drifting along there, but highs never reaching above 88. Now, we might have a heat index or so coming with that, but really, 88, about the highest there all the way through September the 3rd. That is so close. Let's look at what is happening here. As I mentioned, they've downgraded this to, they were at 80% last night. This morning is sitting at 70%. That's going to happen. It's going to come in and bring a lot of rain. 20% chance of something developing right here off the coast of Africa. We'll watch this. Where will this go? More this way, or will it turn and come toward the Gulf? It'll give it a lot of time to develop. We'll watch this over the next week and see what she becomes. Our fishing calendar tells us today, best times to fish. Head on out. Your first major time is going on now through about 10 a.m. this morning. You'll get a second chance at this. Oh, it'll be right at dark. You'd have to do some night fishing. A minor time there about 4 o'clock. Wind's going to be light southwest wind, increasing 5 to 10 this morning if you're going to be out chucking some lures there with that bait. Good luck with all of that. Well, that's a quick look at what we've got this morning. An overall view. We'll have some more stories coming up that develop today of what's going on in the community. We'll let you know. We'll post anything that comes up that is of newsworthy. That's all on the way from us here at the Scotty Ray Report. Thank y'all so much for coming by and being a part of this. I do appreciate it. Fred Poole, how are you today? See, LaWanda is up. Also, Terry Ray, Jeff Dean is up. A lot of folks stirring today. Miss Joyce Godwin. Yeah, I remember that $1.69 gas. So do y'all. Scott, see so many of y'all. Thank y'all so much. We'll be back again throughout the day with headlines that matter to you, all here at the Scotty Ray Report. Thank y'all.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: